Yes.
Shannon, episode 3. Welcome back, everyone. Here's the camera right here.
Got
By
it.
the way, you were wondering last time. I mean, you don't have to fourth wall it like I do. I like
the fourth wall.
Okay. We just Kool-Aid man through the fourth wall.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You want some sugar. And we are here for Shannon Boyles. Let's see, season 1, Extracted, episode 3, Shannon Boyles.
That's right.
And what you do not know is that we've already started the show. I've come back to add a little bit of a tease on the front so that you'll stay, because the story that she's telling me now is worth going back and putting this in the front. Okay, we're going to talk about MTV today, and Shannon Boyles running with it while she's going through all these ridiculous health problems and surviving, not only that, but attempting to thrive with roller derby. So anyway, this is Extracted, season 1, Shannon Boyles, episode 3. We are still at 0-0, because whoever requests an edit, the other person gets the point. We have not edited this thing at all, with the exception of this, which I'm going to surgically place on the front of the show to promote the fact that the stories are incredible, and that's why we do it, is our stories and to get them out. When we were last speaking, boy, were we tearing through your life and your biology.
Yes.
And you're good with that? You feel, did you, I'm just wondering, oh gosh, this is a gift I got to send my niece. Did you feel it was therapeutic?
It really was. I just feel like there's so much there that it can be overwhelming.
Right. And I was thinking of that very thing, because in listening to it, which I did, and I don't like listening to our things or my things, but I was driving, I had a road trip this weekend, and I listened to all of them, and I think they are good. I love the stories. And I was listening to you in that episode, and how every sentence was its own show. Every sentence. And there's one part, and maybe this is melodramatic, maybe this is Lifetime for women, but a couple of things really strike me. One, how you say it so briefly and so genuinely that I think it's very impactful, and I might be wrecking it by diving into it. But when you have that hysterectomy, and you just say, it's not that I was going to have kids, but I didn't have the choice anymore.
Yeah. The decision was made.
Yeah. And I think that speaks to there's a lot of societal stuff here where by the time you're 5, 150 penis jokes.
Right.
I mean, PBS Kids
has
got, they've got like, a funny nod to ejaculation on Sesame Street. But women, we don't know about women's health. Mm-hmm. And when I was caring for my mom, one thing that we had a lot of ideas we were going to do, and often her health or my life would intervene. I wanted to do a show with her on menopause. Mm-hmm. I was like, what is this? Because at the time there was a show called Menopause the Musical, which I got tickets for her, and she went out with some women. They really enjoyed it. What the fuck is menopause?
Right.
Yeah, sorry for cussing.
No, it's a great question. I think if you are a woman that's had children and aged through life, that next phase comes of menopause, where your monthly period stops. You go through hot flashes. It's your body and hormones adjusting.
It's like you can't win. You're like, yay, the period's over. And your body's like, hold on.
Yeah, hold on.
I have this bulldozer of insanity.
You're going to wake up nightly in a cold sweat.
Really?
Soaking the sheets.
So
yeah.
is that's something I wanted to get to. So you're 30 or 28 or whatever that was.
I was 32.
And your sexual prime.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're doing that. You're going through that. Mm-hmm. The first time, did you wonder what in the hell was happening?
Yes. It was,
Walk us through that.
Not that people want to go back to the last episode, but I'm on high doses of steroids. And so that makes your brain inflamed. I'm living in toxic mold, same thing. And now I'm going through surgical menopause. And so you go through an emotional roller coaster from you're fine 1 minute, you're bawling the next, your body's trying to regulate. My doctor prescribed me an oral pill for estrogen replacement, but because my insides were so inflamed, it would just pass right through. So I was free falling in surgical menopause for years. And I kept going to my doctor going, something's wrong. I don't feel right. And she goes, it's just in your head. Turns out my thyroid quit working. which is like your body's thermostat
Yeah.
and helps with your depression and all that. And then I've been, I've had a C-section with all of my female parts pulled out, and I'm 32 years old feeling like, even though the birds are singing outside and the sun is out, I feel like the world's about to end.
Well, and that goes to another question. I mean, I cannot imagine, and first this cord's driving me nuts, and I know I'll see it later and be like, Jared, why didn't you just do something about the cord? That goes to the other question. I mean, mentally, oh my God. Oh my jizzle. I'm in the pool yesterday, right? And I have the kids there, and there's a bunch of like 30 plus moms in there. And they're such magnificent creatures. They're this wonderful mix of youth and sexiness, but also wisdom and maternity and all this going on. And I'm thinking of you. I'm like, I'm thinking of you. And I know that they have their issues, and their husbands are dipshits and stuff, which is a lot of the case. And I'm thinking of you getting all this taken away. I mean, you're going to have a great life and stuff, but that's it. It's done. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that was the thing. It was so finite. Like there's no coming back. Like you can't put your stuff back in your body and think you can have a child, So it's weird. When I was checking in for the surgery, there was a woman in the room with me, and she was waiting for her procedure, and she was having a meltdown, and I felt really bad. And I felt like, wow, she must want to have kids, and now she's realizing she can't. And, my whole life I was always like, I don't think I want to have kids. And I know I'd make a kick-ass stepmom because I had a step monster. And I think I know how to be really cool to kids that might have divorced parents and know, because I was that kid. So anyway, after the procedure, though, I kind of started feeling like, wow, okay, I know I didn't want to have kids, but now it's so certain because now it's like an operation made that decision. And, if anything, I could be a drug mule, right? Because I'm just empty from like my ribs down. But
that could fund our lifestyle.
Right? That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, okay.
I know. Like, let me be your drug mule. But yeah, I think that when women go through this at a younger age, that there should be more mental support and more help around that, because you're just kind of like, okay, here you're discharged from the hospital. Here's some Percocet. See ya. And then you go home. In reality, it became like the hormonal twilight zone for me. And I was so weirded out about people hearing it because it was just everything to me. I felt like such a science experiment. I didn't want other people to know. So I didn't put it out there. I mean, the people in the roller derby knew about it because I was away from practice for 6 weeks. But yeah, I don't think I told a lot of folks.
I'm going to start a hotline for people who can't have kids, and I'll be like, okay, Otto's type 1 diabetic monitor woke me up at 1 a.m. And then I was lying awake thinking about Quinn and going to college and when exactly I'm going to plan those college dates. And I don't have a lot of money, but there's a lot of expenses coming on the horizon. And just maybe, but no, I get it. Everybody at least wants an opportunity for that and not have it taken away.
Well, and the other thing I've learned with all these years and meeting other people and talking to folks is that nobody escapes life unscathed. What my problems, challenges, issues look like are different from yours. But now I don't have kids, and I didn't have a child that was just in the hospital getting diagnosed with type 1 and this really scary ordeal. But I have some similar experiences with hospitals and health issues, but I also don't know what it's like to be a parent and you make this little person and then they go and get really scary sick. So that had to be really hard.
Well, right. But yeah, but like you said, you didn't, maybe you weren't going to have kids, but then it was just taken away and it was over. I just think in general, I mean, there's just, women are billed as this mystery. It's a mystery we'll never know. And then men, it's like dick, 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 boo, boo.
Right.
And I just think of, from everything from menopause to miscarriage. And if it, like, I don't know how many women I've known that have miscarriages, but they're treated suddenly like lepers. And it's like, it happens to everyone, sweetie. It happens to freaking everyone. I'm sure it's terrible, but we live in a society where it's not managed that way.
You're right.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I don't know how people afford to have a whole gang of kids. I mean, like, I look at people that go skiing on the weekends now, and I'm like, the lift tickets, the rental of the gear, if they had lessons, lunch, gas to get up there, you stay in the night, like, that can be $5,000.
No, I was going to say that's exactly how much it costs.
Yeah.
I did a spring break 2 weeks ago, or 2 years ago when I could, and it was $5,000. And, you know, the kids are growing, so you're updating with skis. And, like, my boys saw me kind of have a genuine breakdown at the ski shop. I think it was Christie's, because they both went to men's sizes, and I couldn't do their exchange program anymore. And I really didn't have the money, but I wanted to follow through. And I knew, well, I'll just do this and pay it on the back end. But it is devastating.
Yes.
And I grew up as someone who rather loathed downhill skiers as elitists, but I want my kids to... it's a redneck thing. You know, we were trained by the politicians who would come to our town that those cities look down on you, and it turns out they really don't. But that's how they would keep us in their wheelhouse. But I wanted my kids to have kick open those doors, and now they can ski if they want to,
which is great. That
great.
You did that.
You're gonna have to get a job, Quinn. Oh, sorry, but
There's many times I say to my mom and dad, because through my 40s they kind of had to get me back on my feet, because I was, and this is a tease, I was so sick and bedridden for so long. I had to use a walker to get around. It was scary. But I have said to my mom and dad many times, who are divorced, I don't know how you guys did it. Braces, clothes, college. I had a car at 16. It was a total POS, but I had one. And
did you drive a Volkswagen? Was it a Volkswagen? No, what did you have?
My first car was a Ford Escort. When I got to college, I had my sophomore year. I took my mom's car to college, and it was a Mazda 626.
Oh, that's a cool car.
But the Ford Escort had a rattle in the hubcap, so you could hear me coming.
Yeah, like you had Tic Tacs in your pocket.
Right. So it was like gunmetal gray with these red racing stripes, but it was like a blood red magenta.
Did you have the top end Escort?
No.
Sounds like a fancy one.
Nothing in my life has anything that's a top end Escort, but I would take one.
Yeah.
I would.
She's looking for an Escort.
Or anyone that wants to be a friend with benefits. Back to the Ford Escort, though. The interior was like this red leather, and it was a standard, so, a clutch and a shifter, and man, it had a tape deck, and I just...
Oh, wow.
I would go drive, and I was cool.
Yeah, it's funny. You don't see a lot of Ford Escorts anymore. You will see older Toyotas and Hondas and stuff. The Escort
You don't see the
gone.
Escort.
Yeah, the old Fords, they perished.
Ford brought back the Bronco, and I'm thinking maybe they need to bring the Escort back.
Yeah.
But like with a little limousine flair.
Yeah, or an electric Escort. Like it's perfect to have just a little bit of juice and putter around. It looks like the Leaf. That. It was the Leaf before the Leaf was the Leaf.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And if they could put those DeLorean doors on it, so like they open up like this.
Well, yeah. What are they? That's not butterfly. What are they?
I forget what you call
Something
those.
I Karate Kidded. Right. Funny. I hope you don't feel threatened.
I don't.
Suicide doors. Something.
Suicide doors open they're
like
this way. Yeah. But the ones
that
lift up, we'll have to Google that one.
Okay, so we could get to a story here. You did just do a tease about having a walker and stuff.
Yeah.
We really investigated 2014.
Oh, yeah.
Where do you want to go?
Gosh.
When we last left off while she thinks.
2011.
2011.
Yeah.
Okay, now 2011.
I'm going back a little, but it's for a good reason.
So 2011, doing the math. When did we turn 30? 2004?
Yep.
Oh, so you've had a lot happen to you.
Yeah.
So you're 30. You're 37, almost.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
We're the same age, exact same age.
Born on the exact same day.
Right.
7/7. Oh, we didn't even get into all of that.
No, I just jumped right in.
I know. That's okay.
Yeah.
We were born 7/7/74. So yes, 2011. At this point, I've had the total hysterectomy. And my guts are really giving me a hard time. So I'm on these high doses of steroids and that chemotherapy biologic, going in and out of the hospital. And they're still going like, God, you have this. We don't know what to do.
Wait, why are they giving you chemotherapy?
It's the remember the commercial that I was telling you about that stuff
yes.
I'm on? It's a chemotherapy biologic. That's the classification it's in. But it's an immune suppressant, and it's supposed to help my bowels.
Wow, suppressing your immune system. So
yep.
Okay, well, all right. I'm not a doctor.
And back then, I would have to go to the hospital and get a 4-hour infusion of Remicade. Now I can like shoot myself up at home, but it's
You're still shooting yourself up with
Right.
Remicade. Okay.
right. Actually, now it's Stellara, but 2011. So I've torn my hamstring off my pelvic bone and had it surgically fixed. We talked about that. And I'm now primarily the announcer at the roller derby games and the PR person. Mm-hmm. And I had the phone for the league. We had a cell phone. And so people would call. And ironically, MTV calls.
Wow.
And they say, we're casting an episode of Made. Would any of you guys want to audition to be the coach? So I let the league know. And I think there were like...
I'm going to pause right here. Okay, now we're back.
So MTV calls our roller derby league. They're looking for a coach for an MTV Made episode. And if you don't know what that show is, a person has a dream and I could say, I want to learn how to make cheese. And if I get on the TV show, MTV will go and find a cheesemaker to coach me and beat me into being a good cheesemaker. And then I go live my dreams as a cheesemaker. Yeah. But this time it's about roller derby. So I think about half a dozen skaters audition, including me. And MTV picked me. I mean, it wasn't rigged. I swear to God, I didn't have anything to do with that. Like, I auditioned and got the part. So I'm suddenly going to be going to Corpus Christi, Texas, in the middle of summer to teach someone. And actually, when I was first cast, I was supposed to go to Philadelphia for like an 8-year-old. And then I was told that something in the, they do like a psychological and medical evaluation and something came up. So they put me on pause. And then I was like, oh. And then they called back and they're like, okay, here's what we're going to do. We're doing Made, but we're going to try a season of doing Made for adults. And it's going to air on our sister network, CMT, Country Music and Television. And they go, are you still interested? And I was like, heck yeah. Book the flight. So I pack up. I'm gone for 6 weeks. I go to Corpus Christi, Texas. And I meet this young woman who's a single mom of 3 little girls.
I totally forgot all this.
Yeah, she was such a good sport.
You're here. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So, her baby daddy, I believe he was in. We'd have to drive by the prison he was in every day on our way to practice, and it was for making meth, I think, in their trailer. And it was that family. It was tough because these little girls, and anyway. So I had a rental car, and I would put the mom in my car with me, and we'd go to this agricultural center where they had a cement floor that we could skate on, and there was like farm equipment parked all around us.
Okay, I want to pause just a second.
Yeah.
Farm equipment all around us is the last thing you said. How are you getting along with this woman? And how manipulated is all of this at this point?
We're constantly being filmed all day, every day, and it's not manipulative. We're just kind of getting to know each other.
But there's not producers manipulating this relationship. It's just you're told you're going to go pick her up at this time and come to this barn.
So like there was, excuse me, a producer who would line up the day and say, here's where we're going to shoot, get there by this time. And then there was another producer who was also the camera person. And, they weren't always in the car with us. Like it was special times that we would film. Mm-hmm. So I'm getting along fine. The woman I'm coaching, her name's Leanne. And I'm telling her, like, you're going to have to fall and take hits and learn how to give hits. And, and there's other leagues in Texas that MTV's lined up for us to go and visit and skate with. And like other skaters are giving her input. But, when you're there for 5 weeks and you're spending 16 hours a day with somebody.
What? Really?
Yeah. I mean, pretty much off and on, like throughout the day, we would have these like breaks for certain things, but yeah. And it's so hot in Texas in the summer.
That's it's hot and sweaty.
And I'm so albino. I don't tan. And we've talked about how I don't do swimsuits. And so, the final week we were there, we drove from Corpus to Austin, Texas, and this girl's dream was to play roller derby with the Texas Roller Girls, who are like the OGs that brought the sport back in 2000. There was an A&E TV show called Roller Girls that featured them. And I saw that, and then I joined the Rocky Mountain Roller Girls and all these things. So here we are. Fast forward. We filmed the finale. She does it. She does great. And Shannon flies back to Denver. And
okay, well, you're not getting off the hook that easy.
Okay.
Did you think that? I mean, I remember watching it, and I was stoked. And I remember a heavily edited finale, and I wanted to see more, but I know reality TV. How did you feel about here? You're put on the national spotlight to train a girl. Yeah, tell me about this. Like,
well, because I think number one, my own league was like, what?
Yeah.
Like, she doesn't have coaching chops. Like, that's lucky. She's like the announcer,
and she's lucky. Yeah.
And so I had a lot of hate for that.
No,
but even from other leagues, like that would show up and they would be like.
So these are people that didn't think that you were the right person, and.
But my whole life I've had that. Like, I end up winning people over with my sense of humor, my personality, and then that, my mouth won't tell you I'm going to do something. I'm going to go do it and show you. Even in my job, I have to prove to all these guys that are dicks that, like, I know what I'm doing and I'm smart.
That's a future episode. A bunch of mediocre dudes. Yeah, okay, so there's a thing called Life as a Woman.
Yes.
Coming up next. So you are... you're going to this reality show. Do you know this, is that weighing on you?
Mm-hmm. Because not only do I know nationally all the roller derby community and other people watching and people who know my dad, and I mean, I just felt like everything was so crucial to being right.
Because were people thinking, oh, she got this because of Peter Boyles?
Either that or like Lucky Sperm Club or whatever it is.
Yeah.
The
Lucky Sperm Club. You're just going to breeze over that. Do you think you can come to my basement and say Lucky Sperm Club and walk away from it?
We're in the Bang Bang Bunker down
We're in the
here.
Bang Bang Bunker. I did not introduce that either. We're getting the details down.
My whole life, my dad's always said to my brother and I that we were born in the Lucky Sperm Club, and it's totally true.
Okay, I thought this was you just being
a hoe.
No, you said that. No, just you enjoying life and being you and attracting suitors. Anyway.
So at this point, I'm thinking I have a career in television, because once I got done with MTV and came back to Denver, which was July, in August I got cast for something that aired on the History Channel where I had to go and pretend like I was like a bounty hunter or something like that. But I was with real, like this one guy was a Navy SEAL. I was like with real people, but they needed like a woman to be the part of this whatever. And like, I'm thinking, okay, like here's my entertainment career.
Yeah.
Like, woohoo, I'm fat, but I'm going to make this work, right? And I think that my body and life said, hold my beer, because within a year, I was getting significantly worse than ever before. And to the point where I had to take an ambulance trip to the hospital and was in there for like 5 days. And this is a little side note for physicians when they go out of town and their partner or their colleague handles their patients for them. Be very careful. This one guy was giving me IV steroids, like 300 milligrams a day, which is so much. Like, I don't sleep. This has all ruined my sleeping and everything. And he was going to discharge me, and I go, wait a minute, you got to wean me down, because with steroids you have to come down slowly,
right,
or your body freaks out. And he was like, nah, you're going to be fine. I was home 24 hours and knew something was wrong. And by the next morning, I was in an ambulance back to the hospital where I spent our birthday in the ICU. And it was, that was my first close call.
Is this
death.
2011 still?
This was summer 2012 by then.
2012, yeah. Did that other show happen with a Navy SEAL?
And so in 2012, I'd gone to work for this company in Denver called Native Rank, and they do SEO and other web services. Bunch of guys. And I was so sick and in and out of the job, I ended up having to quit, and I felt real bad.
Jeez,
but I'm
frustrating.
Recuperating at home because I had the first ostomy surgery at the end of December 2012, and I had filmed this thing in August. And I get a text message in February that the monitor TVs in the office were on, and they were all on different channels, and these guys happened to be watching, and my episode thing aired, and they texted me, and they were like, what? They were like, what the heck? Are you some sort of bounty hunter? And I was like, no, I just got paid to play this part, and I'm not a bounty hunter. But I'm like at home,
Yeah.
recuperating from this horrible surgery, and like my life is just, I'm sick all the time. I
Well,
can't hold a job.
I am feeling the contrast of what people are seeing on
Isn't
TV.
that funny, I
And
guess.
no, it's not supposed to be funny. Okay, that's our problem. We always make everything to be great. I'll tell you something Jason Galvin said here in a little bit.
Okay.
And a lot of other people too.
The gospel of Jason Galvin.
And that's the thing. If you don't know this guy,
He's the best.
He's traveling in the East right now. But I'm just thinking of the gap between who you feel you are at that time and who people are seeing you on TV.
I'm so much farther away from who I was born to be just because steroids have messed up my brain, toxic mold has messed up my brain, but I don't know I'm living in it yet until 2016. Tease. And then I've gone through surgical menopause, so like my brain, and then my thyroid quits working. I'm a hot mess like this for, gosh, a good decade. Yeah. And I told you in one episode about that nice guy I dated who just was like, sailor. Just be happy. Mm-hmm. Everybody loves you.
Yeah, Bobby McFerrin, suck it.
And I'm like, I don't know why I'm not. So I know I'm jumping all over timelines. In 2010, my dad gets hooked up with a functional doctor who wants to take me on, and she does the most robust, extensive blood panel on me and finds out, like, you have no hormone production in your brain. No wonder you want to kill yourself. You're on these high doses of steroids. And again, we don't know about the mold, which is the real silent killer. Mm-hmm. But everything else, like on paper, the math, it's like total hysterectomy, high dose steroids, no hormone function in the brain, thyroid quit working. This kid is a mess. And within 6 months of getting on different meds and hormone replacement therapy, I start feeling like Shannon from high school.
Wow.
And
popping wheelies in a Ford Escort.
Popping wheelies. And it becomes and I don't want to give away too much, but it sadly becomes clear to me that there's still a force in my life trying to kill me. And despite I'm getting better and worse and better and worse, and peaks and valleys and peaks and valleys. So yes, at the end of 2012, I'm sick in the hospital at Denver Health, and they gave me a flashing pill to swallow. And they gave me like a battery pack radio transmitter belt to wear. And they said, we just gave you a camera pill that's going to take 50,000 frames of your GI system over, 12 hours.
Yeah.
And you're going to pass the pill. Don't worry about that. But we're going to be able to see it in real time. And they came back to me. This is late. Is your dog okay?
Oh, they howl
as long as
time every day. I'll be on a meeting and people are like, is something dying in your backyard? It's like the two dogs are howling together.
So the doctors come back to me and they go, Shannon, your colon, which is your large intestine, which is 5 feet long, holds all the water in your body.
You have a huge large intestine.
Right.
Yeah.
They go, yours is black.
Oh.
And if it explodes, it's not going to be good. That could give you, sepsis.
Poison you. Yeah.
Right. And ultimately kill me.
Yeah. Breaking news, your body's trying to kill you again. Yeah.
Like in everything I'm so embarrassed about because it has to do with poop and my butt and my female stuff. And okay, great. Now I'm going to have to like wake up with this thing called an appliance on my body and my intestines rerouted through the front of my body in hopes that I can live a life. And that was devastating, having to get an ostomy. I wasn't prepared.
Are we back in 2010 at this time?
This is, and you're so good. This is 2012. This is at the end of the year.
But just a little bit ago, you were...
I was on TV.
Yeah.
Playing roller derby.
And not just any TV.
MTV or CMT.
CMT, training this woman under intense pressure. Mm-hmm. Did you get any... not to abandon your large intestine. I'm a fan.
I've already abandoned it.
Right. Yeah, it's somewhere.
It's in an incinerator.
I wish you were like at your house, like a mountain animal taxidermist, take care of your large intestine.
Like that movie Tremors.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Did you get any satisfaction from any of the people that may have been criticizing you about how you did?
No. Although some friends held a watch party.
I think I was there.
Yeah, I think you were.
Yeah.
And you know how people are. They still talk trash about you. So no.
Does that episode live anywhere?
Yeah.
It's on the internet?
I found it years ago. I'm going to need to pull it up again. Because they only did this made on CMT for adults for one season, but like one episode, someone wanted to be a professional wrestler, and I think one was a rodeo clown, and then there was the roller derby.
Some of that,
yeah.
Oh, good job, Boyles. You just did that whilst your body was trying to off you, or your condo, at least.
Right.
Your condo had, like, whispered to your body to kill you.
And that's the thing. Like, let's say Jordan Peele sees this someday, which I would love. I'd love to partner with Jordan Peele and A24 Films to make the most horrific horror movie, because this whole time I'm in and out of the hospital, I'm going back home to recuperate. I'm not working because I'm now going to be disabled in 2012. I'm at home all the time, not knowing that on the roof above my head is the most insane water damage and toxic mold and mycotoxin environment known to man. And I'm living under it as an immune suppressed human being while it's growing on me and in me. And I'm not noticing, except that my acne is just like next level craziness. And
next on the Lucky Sperm Club, we'll talk about other fortunate things. No, okay, that's okay. We got to stop there.
I know there's so much.
You know
what I'm saying?
No, it's not. It's fine. This is fantastic. I guess I have this image. I am in you. Is not what I want to say. I'm in your mind.
Well,
right?
we're the same person. We're born on the same day.
But I'm imagining this. I'm imagining you trucking along and getting these show opportunities. And then you're in the goddamn hospital again. You're being anesthetized again. You're on a drip again.
Yeah, Frankenstein.
And it's like this. It's not rewound to the starting line. There's just no track anymore. Like
it's torture. Like, I think, like, I could give the CIA some pointers on really how to
I will tell you everything.
Mentally and physically ruin somebody. If you want to make someone suffer day in and day out, and I mean, it's a miracle I never took my life. I sure thought about it and planned the hell out of it. Can't do it to my parents. So glad I feel better today.
We have a lot of episodes of this.
Yeah, we do.
We do.
Wait for it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean,
have to do this until I'm like 87 to maintain both of us from offing ourselves. Okay, yes. Continue. Sorry.
So yeah, I just am, I'm thankful that today in 2024, that even though I'm not that far out from the last hiccup, I'm feeling better, looking better, my mentals are better, and every day I'm above ground is a blessing.
And somehow the most positive person I know.
No way. That's your wife.
No, Sarah. Did you hear what she just said? One day you're gonna watch this, Sarah, and you'll be like, like spit out your.
I think Sarah's positive.
She's a positive influence on my life and the world.
Yeah.
But she can be negative, and I love her pessimism. I do. I mean, it makes me laugh a lot. But it's like educated pessimism.
Yeah.
I mean, it's from the vantage of where she's been in her life and things she's seen, and it's so honest. It breaks you. It's
right.
Good. Yeah. All right, so this has been season 1, Extracted Shannon Boyles, episode 3, and I think it was really damn good.
This is thank you, because I'm kind of sitting in my mind going, oh dear, what did I just do? But
what did I just do?
But I think
you Shawshank to a shit tunnel of health issues, and are here on the other side in your friend's basement.
And I think for our viewers, this is the first time I've begun to regurgitate all of this trauma, so please hang in there with me. It's going to get easier and better and less mentally permanently ruining anything in your mind about how you might have thought of me before. But yeah.
Yeah, well, I think...
I just puked all over this podcast.
It's okay. Oh, sorry.
No, that's
such
good.
A habit. That has nothing to do with you. And I just want to... I was going to hit a button and I can't because... Anyway.
We got to turn the camera.
Okay.
Yeah.
There we go.
Jared's episode next time is going to be incredible!